hours early for you. So we, just like the girls that came in yesterday after they had the late night shift for the election, we are happy that you're here. Today is, again, a day that our locker room is going to be changing a little bit on our boys basketball side. And a little bit about our history. I met Scott Douglas in fall of 1987, coming into Culver Stockton College as a freshman. And Mr. Douglas at that time was the Culver Stockton College quarterback coach. And at that point, we at least knew faces and knew who each other was. I still remember my dad rode with him as an assistant coach, Coach Leaster, and a bunch of the old boys in a 15-passenger van across the state of Missouri over to William Jewell College, stopping in beautiful town of Chillicothe at the old Golden Corral that Dick Lemke liked. And our relationship is continued to build from there. We renewed our relationship in the fall of 1992 after being hired as the head football coach at Flynn Stadium. Entering the locker room over there before a YMCA football camp that the two schools worked together, having for the YMCA in the the summer of 1997. Walked in Ray Face's office, and there he was, Scott Douglas. Again, that we were able to see each other and go out and in 1992 start working with the kids at Quincy. And you know, I remember Scott, my first 2 or 3 years here. You know, he was the coach at the time at senior high that coached all 3 sports. He coached from the day school started until the day school was out and into the summer. And those type of coaches in today's time, they're not in existence. He worked hard, and because of his hard work and his dedication, he was given an opportunity in obviously 1996 to oversee our basketball program here at Quincy Notre Dame. Coach was hired in 1996, early that year, to be our head boys basketball coach. Shortly after that, I was given the opportunity by our school board, Mr. Ray Howman, and our administration to become the athletic director. And I knew at that time one of the biggest things that we were attacked upon was Quincy Notre Dame had the young coaches. Quincy Notre Dame could not keep coaches, and that's been one of the things that we've strived, and Coach Douglas has been a very, very big part of that, of keeping the same faces and keeping the coaches and supporting our coaches, our school board supporting those coaches, administration supporting those coaches, and me as the AD supporting those coaches. And when we hired coach, when we hire any coach, that coach oversees our program from top to bottom, hiring assistants, deciding on player personnel, and everything from uniforms to where they're going to eat and everything that they're going to do. And we believed in Coach Douglas, everything that he has done, and obviously over those 17 years, a huge amount of success. He leaves here and leaves our program on top. And he leaves here today as the all-time winningest basketball coach. He leaves here with 360 wins, which is, again, you think about 360 wins, a lot of great times. A lot of great memories of, again, standing there in the pit, seeing him hand on head, and what's the guy thinking, okay? What's he thinking? But, you know, again, I think if we would have put a statue of Coach Douglas in the gym, it would have to be him, shirt and tie, and I mean, that brings you a smile. As AD, I'm in and out of the gym, but you know, though, I can pretty much walk into the gym, see him in his coach's box. I can tell you with his reaction, I don't even have to look at the scoreboard. I can look at him, and I can pretty much tell you what the score is doing, how things are going. Not only is he's our winningest basketball coach in school history, he has represented our school well, first class, on and off the court. He's followed kids in the classroom, and he's a family man. He's done everything representing our school first class on and off the court. Won 12 regional championships. You think about that, 12 regional championships under his tenure. Won 9 of those regional championships in a row. As we've been bumped up by the Illinois High School Association, he's also again won a 3A championship. Won a 2A championship in 2010 and 2012. Made state appearances in 1999 and 2004. 2004, won 30 games. During 2003 and 04 and 04 and 05, we were the #1 team ranked in the state by the Associated Press. Had to turn to Shuck Daddy yesterday to get this information. This was the only thing that Mr. Frank Cash, and Mr. Frank Cash is not with us today, but I want to thank him again for compelling the numbers, and Mr. Shuck Daddy for this last bit of information. Mr. Scott Douglas, again, Coach of the Year, Quincy Herald Whig Coach of the Year, 1999, 2002, 2004, and 2009. And you think about the numbers, you think about the things that have happened since 1996 to present, you think about all the great games, you think about the time when we packed the people in the gym, and again, a lot of you gals and guys, the students, and even media, Midwest Central, we bring them in, packed house, sold out crowd. If you say, hey, where's this stand as your career is AD, and I see Scott smiling at me. It's a packed house. They get lost. People sit in the gym for 2 hours. It's very cold outside, and eventually you can see water, almost start drifting from the rafters. And Mr. Howman's here with us today. He was in his corner and took part in this the night that we had to tell everybody the court's unplayable. The game's off, and Coach Douglas, you got to take your guys to the locker room. The game's off, and you think about that, and you go back and you think about the huge win we had here versus our crosstown rivals, and you think about everything in between, the huge games with Liberty, the great times and the great memories that were part of this, and those memories will be remembered forever. And I want to thank Coach for his time. It's been a great 17-year relationship, and I want to make sure people understand at Quincy Notre Dame, we've not been based upon one great program having success. It's been Quincy Notre Dame. It's been a family. It's been the girls. It's been the boys. It's been the whole big picture. And in order for us to do this, it's been sharing athletes and working with athletes that play 2 and 3 sports. And personally, as a football coach, again, I could not have had a better relationship with a man, making sure that the great athletes had an opportunity to play both. If they love basketball, it was fine with me. If they love football, it was fine with Coach. But when it came their season, we let them do the things they needed to do for this school to win games and be successful. So at this time, I would like to call our principal forward to say a few words, Mr. Mark McDowell.
As always, a tough act to follow. Shuck Daddy. When I say it, just not the same. Well, again, Coach Cannell has already said so many things that I could reiterate, but wanted to make sure that we have a chance to reflect on some other things as well, in addition to the basketball side. And the time that Scott's been here, while he has been our basketball coach for 17 years, he's also been very involved in other things as well, and I think it's important for us to mention that. He served as an assistant baseball coach, He's been our Director of Christian Formation, Dean of Students. He's been leader of our Havoc program and leader of our Catholic Heart Work Camp program, all of which demand an incredible amount of time and energy. He's been a very busy man, a dedicated servant to Quincy Notre Dame, its students, and its families. And talking with Scott about his decision, of course I heard a range of emotions, as is to be expected. This has been a major part of his family's life, yet it is his family that deserves the time and attention he wants to give them, needs to give them as husband, father, and grandfather. For many years, we, the QD family, have pulled rank on the Douglas family calendar. Starting today, that will begin to change. To Jim, his father, thank you for sharing your son. To Amy, thank you for sharing your husband. To his children, Ashley, Cassidy, Gabrielle, Sam, Tony, Zane, and Xavier, all 7. Thank you for sharing your dad. And last but certainly not least, to little Georgia, thanks for sharing Grandpa. Scott's players, this is a bittersweet day. Coaches and players have a unique and special bond, one that can only truly be understood by the team. You and Coach Douglas have shared many laughs, probably some frustrations, but most importantly, memories that will last long after any practice, any game, and any season. At this time, it is my pleasure and privilege to bring forward Coach Scott Douglas to share some remarks. Coach Douglas.
All right, let me get my composure back. Just a second. First of all, as you guys can imagine, I'm not particularly comfortable with this. Not the decision's the right one with all of this. But I do have some things that I need to share and say to so many people. As I started really kind of thinking about it last night, after I got home, being with one of my former players at a Havoc night, I was overwhelmed, to be quite frank with you, to try to thank all of the people is impossible. There's no way I can do it. And so for all of those people who might catch it on the news, thank you. That's the best I can do. 17 years. I remember vividly, and I talked to Amy about it last night. I remember vividly the knock on my door. And I'm like, what in the world is Lonnie Lemon and Ray Howman doing at my house? It's like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. And so I went and I opened the door and I was like, hi guys, it's good to see ya. And they subsequently came in and offered me the head coaching job at Quincy Notre Dame 17 years ago. I remember the night. I remember the fact that when I came into the school for my first press conference that I did like a live interview with Ron Kitcher. I don't know if I was ever expecting that. I don't think I was expecting that to come in and all of a sudden Ron was doing it. Heck, Ron didn't even know who I was. That's changed. So it's a wide assortment of emotions, as you can probably imagine. I want you to understand, though, this isn't a rash decision. This isn't a decision that came about very, very quickly. This isn't something that I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what I have to do. I have a habit. I think it's a good habit to reevaluate every year where I'm at, where our program's at. And this is just the first year that I've evaluated it and said that it's time for me to be done as a coach. So to answer any question that might be out there, why? I don't have one except for it's time. I knew it. I remember, certainly I can't compare, but I didn't win a national championship, but John Wooden just said he knew. When he walked off the court as the national champion, the last year UCLA won the national champion, he just knew. My situation is similar. I just knew that it was time. Coach Sheffield could tell you all my frustrations. He could tell you all my anxieties. But I've always been a person, I've always tried to be a person that tried to take all of those frustrations that I might have and turn them into good. That was always what I thought was my greatest challenge, was to take anything that might frustrate me and turn it into good. So that's not why. It's not a frustration thing. It's just, it's time to do it. I would be horribly remiss if I didn't have some thank yous. First of all, and he's here, Mr. Heilman, thank you for the opportunity. It has been amazing, and that opportunity obviously would never have taken place without your trust and, or at least taking a chance on trusting a guy that was a 9th grade basketball coach and bringing him over here. Thank you to all you guys in the media that have been so good to me over the years. I've had an opportunity, and really I consider it a blessing. Bill talked about it a lot, but Bill and I have grown up as coaches and as professionals, I think, together over these 17 years, and so I don't know any different. So thank you. In his office, Eric Orrin, I see him way back in the corner where he likes to stay. Thank you. Been a good friend, helped me a lot, and you and your girls have always been an inspiration. I said I wrote down that I was hired by the best principal that anybody could ever work for, and I believe that to be true. But I also have to thank the guy that I have a chance to work for now, and Mark McDowell, who has jumped into those shoes flying, and is working hard to build his own legacy, one that I know that and I trust will be equally as great. So I appreciate all that you have done for me this year. I've worked with the absolute best parents. I'm gonna tell you this. I cannot imagine this being a better job parentally. I have had amazing parents from the first day I walked in here that have lived up with me, driving them crazy probably for 100 different reasons. But they've supported us, they've been good to us every single year. I know we've never been perfect as a staff, far from it. But I hope they all know that we love their kids, period. I have been blessed to work with the finest assistant coaches any head coach could ever work for or have on their staff. Some of them are here. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Coach Sheffield. He's been by my side every year but one. Tried to get away, we just brought him back. He is and understands and knows Raider basketball like no one else. He knows what it's about and what it means. So huge thank you, Coach, for everything. Not just being the coach, but being a friend. Our fans have been amazing, you guys. And you want to talk about the best place to work, this is the best place to work and the best place to coach because of all of you. You make it incredibly special. I have the most amazing family. My wife Amy, who's endured this craziness for all, and the thing you gotta remember about, her, that she hasn't just endured the 17 years, which is significant. She endured 3 sports for 10 years before I even came to Notre Dame, as a coach's wife. So it's been nearly 30 that she's been married to a loony coach. I have to deal with that, which is the life of a coach. To my kids, my older girls who have really been helpful to me during this process, because they're at a time in their life for change is happening, a lot, good change. And so for me to step out and be change, they help me through it. Sam. Sam and Tony, I don't think know anything better than Bloomington, and different than Bloomington at Christmas time, so I don't know what we're gonna do. But maybe we can coach Zane and Xavier. I don't know. We'll see. I had a chance this year to go. Every team I've ever coached, I've loved. I have a special place for every team. That being said, there's one that's most recent. And they're special. They're boys that I grew up, watched them grow up, coached them, just admired them. So thank you. There could be no better team to go out with. But overall, I've had the best players. And I'll try to close this down. And I told these guys this morning, I'll try to do a better job of it today, this time. But I told them that as I look out here, and most specifically right there, to me, that is the most beautiful sight that I can imagine. That is a group of basketball players, but it's so much more at this moment. Because what I see when I look out there is not the Notre Dame Raider basketball program. I see it all. I see the work ethic of Casey Tusshouse, the intelligence of DJ Vemberlo, the guts of Brian McNeil to not settle for people telling him that he wasn't going to be as good as he could be. The grit of Ryan Stuckman. Oh, actually, he's there. I see the heart of going all the way back to Michael Young, who's also here. That's what's made it special, is when I look at guys like right out here, I can see a beautiful group of guys that are doing it, but I see so much more. I see years and years of kids just like you that have gone on to be adults like them. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud to have been a part of it in some way, shape, or form. Well, I left out a lot of names, so I apologize to all those guys that I left out, because they're equally as important. I'm excited. I'm excited for my opportunities. I'm excited to have. You gotta quit, because you're beating me up, Tony. I'm excited for the opportunities that are going to be there. I'm also excited for the opportunities for our basketball program. I told our guys at the banquet that I believed in them. I believe that they had what it takes to carry on a great tradition. I believe that. I believe that. I also shared with them that Coach Cannell got up here and mentioned 360 wins. I never won one of them. They did. And they will continue to do that. They will continue to do that because they will continue to carry on the legacy of this program. I leave it in good hands. I'm looking at a group of seniors that will take the bull by the horn and run with it. And so now is the time. And so I don't know who I forgot. Oh, I couldn't go without mentioning my biggest fan outside of my, like, right there family, my dad. God works in funny ways. And we thought this fall that there was no way he would be able to witness any of our basketball season. And he got to witness it all. Miraculous comeback by a tough old dude. And he got to see his grandson finish out his senior year. I don't know. I owe him such a debt of gratitude as I owe all of you that gratitude. So again, I've talked enough, much more than I ever believed that I would. I apologize for that. Thank you for everything. For those of you that I forgot, I apologize. I didn't forget you. You might get something from me 2 months down the road. You just got to know that's how I work sometimes. I appreciate it. And again, thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of your lives. So, thank you.